So I want to quickly talk about two things today, about how to make acorn flour and about perceptional language, the language the Holy Spirit speaks. At least from what I gather, to me, it seems like when the Holy Spirit speaks, it's speaking to your perception of reality, to your subconscious. It actually opens up files and memories and puts them together. It kind of does remind me a bit of a Passion of the Christ when he was in specific situations and it reminded him of happier times in his life. It reminds me of this because I was considering whether or not, okay, so this sounds like a weird thing, but I wonder if I would enjoy heaven. And I know that sounds like a strange thing to think, but I just wonder, it wouldn't really be very cool if Jesus couldn't hang out, because I'm not interested in the golden streets. I'm not interested in any of the houses or anything like that. I'm interested in hanging out with Jesus and with the saints, like having real conversations about real things, which is the most important conversation of all, which is Jesus Christ. And so as I was thinking this, and okay, I can't tell you that I wasn't maybe in my feelings, because that's what I am. I'm run by feelings, and I know I'm trying to rebuke it and change it and fix it, and the Holy Spirit's working with me on this. Last time I got a tour of heaven, that's how I felt. I was under a tree, and that's the Holy Spirit reminded me of that, but it also reminded me of the story, Zacchaeus, the tax collector. And I was watching from a distance, picnicking, listening to the saints, and I was just under a tree hanging out, watching everybody gather around Jesus, but I just wanted to wait my turn. And then I fell asleep and I ended up here, and I have a whole video on it. But this is a story. Zacchaeus' name means innocent. And it says, Jesus entered Jericho. Jericho means fragrant. Jesus entered Jericho and was passing through. See the language that was used there? A man was there by the name of Zacchaeus. His name means pure and innocent. He was a chief tax collector and was wealthy. He wanted to see who Jesus was, but because he was short, he could not see over the crowd. So he ran ahead and jumped in a sycamore tree to see him. Him should be capitalized, since Jesus was coming that way. When Jesus reached the spot, he looked up, he should be capitalized, and said to him, pure innocence, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today. So he came down at once and welcomed him gladly. All the people saw this and began to mutter, he has gone to be the guest of a sinner. But Zacchaeus, who is pure and his name means pure and innocent, stood up and said to the Lord, look, Lord, here and now I give half of my possessions to the poor, and if I have cheated anyone out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount. Jesus said to him, today salvation has come to this house, because this man too is the son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and save the lost. So I don't know if that gives you peace, but I praise Jesus Christ for that there. And then here, to me, that was confirmation that Jesus will be hanging out with us, in heaven, and I like that. So this is acorn flour recipes. I put some down here, how to make acorn jelly, which is very popular in Korea. And then there's acorn cookies. You can make acorn tortillas, which I think is salt and oil just to keep the acorn meal together, and then you cook it. There's also, you can have an acorn press. I think you can use a mortar and pestle depending on if you're leaching it first or cooking it first. It depends on the order in which you make the flour. And so this is actually good for medicine too. So acorns are the first brown tea-like pour from the leaching can help toothaches and irritated skin. Also, the white oak and red oak, these are the differences. They're the most common of oaks that have acorns. And I wrote down all the differences there so you can tell the difference, because they have to be separated and kept in separate buckets until you process them. These are the different nutritional value here, the calories, protein, all this, vitamins, antioxidants. All you need is the acorn flour, 4.5 cups of water and salt, and you can make yourself acorn jelly, or you do a stir, whisk to create the gluten, and then cool for 5 hours. here's how you make the acorn cookies, which I haven't finished the recipe writing it down yet, but you just mush together a half a cup of corn flour, acorn flour, half a cup of all-purpose flour, a stick of butter and cold butter in cubes, and then add maple syrup or sugar, and then you just mush it together until you get pea-sized little pea-sized butter cube parts, and then you just take the mix and mush it together into a ball, put it on a tray, and then push it with a fork, down with a fork to create like a imprint, and then you cook it probably the same temperature and way you'd cook any other cookie, and they say it's very delicious. On the back I'm going to put how you make acorn bread, which takes a few more ingredients, so I'm trying to get a different variety of ways to make things with acorn. And we also have beauty berries that are local that you can preserve, and they say it's very delicious. So if you just go around and see that everything around you is edible and usable, like I'll put some videos below of a guy who, I wish I can remember the name of his YouTube channel, but he would take the very sharp kind of pokey palm tree bushes that you see around, and he would just take the top off it, and he'd use the stringiness of the leaves and braid them to create a you know, like a line, and he'd actually create on the spot a fishing line, and he'd just connect it to a piece of wood, like a very thin branch, and you actually saw him get many different fish, and he would be eating snakes and all kinds of foods. But anyway, I'll put some of his videos down below. Also, I'll put a filtration of water video, and you know, if you're praying the power of Jesus over the water and the water that you look to ingest or the food you're looking to eat, I believe in the power of Jesus. So, but there is a filtration process for dirty water, and I'll put that below. I think it's the King of Random who actually did that. So, yes. So that is all for our. Now I'm Linda of Christ is King Forever. May God be with you.